Hi, I'm Tim from 4D Model Shop and I'm going to show you how to cut balsa wood using a metal rule, a craft knife and sandpaper. Balsa wood is a type of wood that can easily be cut and shaped with a craft knife and sandpaper. I'm going to show you how to cut thin pieces of balsa, thicker pieces and rods. Because balsa is so soft, thin balsa is very easy to cut indeed. Hold your metal rule firmly and with a craft knife run it gently across the top of the balsa just to establish a cut line. Once you've done this, you can work your way through the balsa until you've completely cut all the way through. When you're cutting the balsa along the grain, you need to be careful because the blade may run off in the direction of the grain. So what you need to do is establish a cut line first by very gently running your craft knife across the top of the balsa. Once you've done this, you can cut all the way through. And because you're cutting with the grain, it's actually a lot easier to make your cut. Cutting thick of balsa is fairly straightforward. You just need to gently establish a cut line first. Once you've done that, you just keep cutting gently, making as many cuts that are needed until you've worked all the way through the balsa. When you're cutting thicker balsa with the grain, you need to establish a cut line first by gently running the blade across the top surface of the balsa. Once you've done this, you can work your way through the balsa, making a series of cuts, but you'll find because you're going with the grain, this is a lot easier than when you were cutting across the grain. Cutting through balsa rods is fairly straightforward. Because the balsa is so soft, you have to be careful. The best thing to do is just to roll the balsa with the blade across the top of the rod until you've established a cut line. Once you've done that, you can just gently work your way through, bit by bit, just rolling the rod around until you've cut all the way through, and you'll have a nice clean cut. To make a sanding block, mark the width of your block on your sandpaper, and then you can cut it through with a pair of scissors. Once you've done this, simply wrap it around your sanding block. If you need to tidy up the edge of the balsa you've just cut, then you can use a sanding block. Have the balsa projecting just slightly over the edge of your workbench, and then with a sanding block, holding it as vertical as possible, just gently sand the ends. Try not to rock this at all, just keeping it as vertical as possible, so you get a nice right angle between the top edge and the edge that you're sanding.